Hi, my name is David Dubon, and the topic I'll be discussing today is blockchain technologies. Blockchain technology, which is most implicitly defined as a decentralized, distributed electronic ledger dealing with the recording of digital assets, possesses multiple different avenues to not only get into the market, but also disrupt existing markets and create better ones. So did you know that blockchain isn't going to start disrupting traditional business soon, but rather has already began to do so today, yesterday, and will continue to do so into the future? But why is this important to you? So as college students and as young adults, we're going to be entering the workforce soon, and it's important that we know how to use and are aware of new technologies being used in the workforce today. So I have some credibility on the field, but I will admit I don't have the best, mainly because I can't do computer coding myself, and that's a very important part of blockchain technology. You need to know how to code and be able to set up contracts and stuff like that. We'll get into that further into the presentation. So my main three topics that I'll be discussing today are crypto and how they will be the future to fiat, financial platforms and how they work, and finally traditional fields being disrupted by blockchain today. So let's get right into it. Cryptocurrencies and how they work and how they will be the future to fiat. So first of all, Bitcoin challenges the US dollar daily. If you had looked at Bitcoin in 2016, 2017, and now looked at it now, it's incrementally increased exponentially as well. A Bitcoin was worth like 10 cents and now it's worth 10,500 US dollars. That's a big increase. So I have a quote right here from the Winklevoss twins. I think it's very telling about the future of assets in the United States. It says, if you have gold, start building up Bitcoin reserves. And then also they go on to say, the US has been slow to adopt this new technology. This quote comes from Forbes magazine. As Bitcoin roars into 2020, the Winklevoss twins make Wall Street warning. Bambro, January 16th, 2020. So let's continue. Transaction capabilities with Bitcoin, or with blockchain. So with blockchain, intermediaries are no longer needed to process payments. This means I can send you a payment, you can send me a payment. We don't gotta send it through the bank. We can send it however we want. Nobody has to tell us what to do. It's purely between me, you, and me. That's the most important thing about blockchain. It's purely peer-to-peer, which is amazing. You no longer have to pay bank service charges, a bunch of other things. It's just really nice, okay? So Bitcoin is also not shady. Everybody likes to say Bitcoin is shady and it's used to buy drugs online or children online. That's not true at all. So I have a quote right here. China will likely issue a stable coin first. This could be the first in modern times. The US hasn't been first on something like this. So this isn't some fake made up thing. This is a real technology being used today. That quote comes from the Forbes article as well. And then I also have Bitcoin does have weird origins, but if you look into the white papers, these are called the white papers. So the white papers, open source, P2P money, Satoshi Nakamoto, no date. This is basically the research paper that got into Bitcoin and how it all got created and why they decided to create it. I really think you should go and read it if you haven't had a chance yet. It's very telling. It basically talks about why they need a peer-to-peer resource such as Bitcoin. So much like a well-oiled machine in real life within the internet world, cryptos and our next topic, financial platforms, are complementary parts of the blockchain. Bitcoin is a very good example of a cryptocurrency, by the way. So financial platforms and how they work. Capabilities of financial platforms, a very good example of a financial platform is Uniswap. But the innovation of smart contracts is really the main important thing on the financial part of it. So smart contracts, I have a quote here. Smart contracts which live on a blockchain are digital self-executing contracts that allow for speedy, streamlined transactions. This quote is delivered from the US Postal Service, using blockchain in your supply chain, 2019. This is very important because no longer do I have to create a contract with a third party. I can just code it, send it to you, you can sign it, and then we can both look at it. The contract doesn't get delivered, doesn't get filled until I've received my products or services or you've received your products or services. That's very key, very big. It takes a lot of randomness out of the equation. So going back to why this was created on the white papers, we can see how important peer-to-peer really is. I like to give the comparison of fish to water, as you can see the water behind me. So a water is the life source of the fish. The fish lives in the water, much like how the cryptocurrency lives, or the smart contract lives on the blockchain. You can take the fish out and eat it, you can take the crypto out and spend it, but you can't take the water away, you can't get rid of the blockchain. So benefits of a DeFinancial platform: more transparency, harkening back to why this tech was created in the first place. They wanted more transparency with their products and their sellers. Safer than traditional banking when dealing with theft and fraud. I have a very telling quote here. With blockchain, no single party has ownership. All parties view and verify uploaded data, and the entire network establishes a set of rules by which batches of data are validated or rejected. This comes from the US Postal Service as well. And this is extremely telling and very important because it goes ahead and it says basically a general population of people that work or live on that blockchain are the only people that get to verify transactions on that blockchain. That's very important because the only people are using it, you know? They're the only ones using it, so they're the only ones verifying and rejecting the transactions. So as these DeFi platforms continue to grow and users continue working amicably with each other, we will see other traditional sectors of the economy, supply chain for example, also begin to get disrupted. This works perfectly into our third segment, traditional fields being disrupted by blockchain now. First one we're going to discuss are supply chain sectors of the economy. Why is supply chain being disrupted by blockchain? Basically because blockchain is better tracking of products. I have a very telling quote here. So because all parties given access to a blockchain are able to view the same data as it's updated in real time, it's easier to track product journeys. This is very telling. This comes from the US Postal Service as well. And it basically means you no longer have to get into it with like US Postal Service or UPS. You can track your own product on your blockchain today. Smart contracts, as I spoke, you can probably see why they would be important as supply chain. Now me and my manufacturer, me and my customer can create peer-to-peer contracts and I can execute them right when they receive my products, or they can execute them when they receive my products. It just takes a lot of hassle out of dealing with contracts. I'm an accounting major, so it basically helps deal with accounts payable, accounts receivable, and such like that. Sectors of the economy blockchain could bolster: more reliable voting. I think this is a very interesting one, especially in today's climate now. So basically, if the US created a voting blockchain and put all voters on it, all voters could verify their own vote, which would basically take away any voter fraud that is present today. So upgrade to cloud storage is also a very important part of how blockchain could go ahead and disrupt existing fields or existing sectors of the economy. So no longer will you have to pay Apple, Google, or even the United States government to hold your cloud computing. You can do it all on your own blockchain. In conclusion, the blockchain revolution is occurring as we speak. Each day, new users are being uncovered, with many more tools still coming out of the woodworks. So ultimately, crypto is already reshaping how people think about payments, and it's including all who possess an internet connection into the financial sector right now, which is extremely important. No longer do you have to have a bank account, you can just have a cryptocurrency wallet. Blockchain tools are already being used in today's economy, basically, and it's going to continue. So I have right here, nevertheless, you won't have to worry because there's nothing to fear from the future. If you get involved with Bitcoin or a different blockchain or cryptocurrency now with a good project, you won't have to worry about losing your job in the future to blockchain tech, because you won't need a job in the future due to your investment now being worth 100x what it was worth 2 years ago, maybe even, if you get in with the right project. Thank you and have a great day.